So hi everybody, I'm Emily. I'm a data scientist and developer with a background in civil and environmental engineering. Double Stop Consulting is my freelance consulting outfit. I do have a link in the upper right-hand corner of the screen, and that will contain the links to the GitHub repo and this presentation, so you can follow along, or whatever. Okay, so now what's the motivation here? I was looking at these beautiful images of the lights at night. And so this is satellite imagery that was stitched together from multiple sources and made pretty. And my notion was like, okay, why can't we use this as inspiration to display energy consumption? And we can display energy consumption over time. So I am going to play this in a loop while I talk through some of the sources. Okay, it is going. Great, so the data I am visualizing in the dots is from the US Energy Information Administration. This is from their state level energy data system. This is all sectors, all fuels, ranging from 1960 to 2023. Now, I've mapped those onto the US major cities data set. So this is data from the US Census with cities of more than 10,000 people. And I'm doing a little kind of presto changeo. This is totally some false precision here. I am mapping on state level data by using the ratio of the population in a city to the population in the state and assigning that fraction to the equivalent location of that city. So let's continue a little bit. We'll keep watching here. So yeah, I use the Python ecosystem. Geopandas is great for vector stuffs, pandas, matplotlib, and ffmpeg for the animation part. So you've been seeing this for a little while now. And now maybe you had the same notion that I did of like, okay, well, we know that the population is increasing over time. And you'd imagine that we would see all of these circles just getting bigger. And like, we're just always going to have more energy being consumed. But no, instead, we see these like pulses, right? So what's going on here? So we can plot up the data in aggregate. So I'm showing in blue the population, which is consistently increasing. It's going up and to the right. And we also see the yearly energy data from energy consumption across the entire US. And one thing I'll notice, or I'll point out, you see a bunch of dips. These dips tend to correspond to times of economic recessions. So there's a big one around the late 1970s, early 80s. That's the energy crisis. You can see the dot-com bust in this, you can see the Great Recession in this, and you can see that little bump towards the end there, that's COVID, right? So in addition to looking at the dots, we can also identify a few trends. So there's kind of three trend lines that I've drawn in, right? And, this is kind of after in this case, it's after the energy crisis of the late 70s and in the wake of the Great Recession in 2008-ish, we see that the consumption starts to change. We start consuming a little less per capita. So let's think about energy efficiency in terms of cost. And let's do that over the last 700 years. This is really great in study that came out of the UK like 10 or 15 years ago. But essentially, they're showing that the cost of light has decreased by 99.9% over the last several hundred years, right? Like, that's amazing. And like, think about how dark everything would be. Like, we must have hibernated, right? No wonder productivity went up after electricity came. But even from 1960 onward, the cost of light it's less than half of what it used to be, like 50 years ago. That's kind of remarkable, right? So lastly, I'll leave you with a side-by-side. We have the motivation along with one of the frames from the visualization. I hope this was interesting. I hope you learned a little bit. And it made me interested in exploring a little bit more about energy efficiency. So, all right, that was for me. Thank you very much, and happy to chat with any of you.